Hello, all you beautiful people. That's right, it's me, the striking Viking. How's it going, eh? Anyhow, so I wanted to give you an update on what's going on with the water heater. We were having some delivery issues with it after it had been completely installed. After I got everything buttoned up last night in the dark of the night, I finally finished getting everything sorted regarding the propane delivery because the propane had been leaking anyway. That's taken care of. Have no fear. Uh, we did have to make a trip out of town in order to get the parts that we needed because the local store was closing. And when you're in a town of 4,000 people, yeah, you have to go to the big city. That's right. About 40 minutes drive north to a town of about 45,000. Anyhow, got the parts. I needed a little ferrule, tiny little brass ring, and also a tubing cutter. So I got the tubing cut, I got the ferrule done, I went under, and you know that you're having trouble when you're sweating and moaning and you're assigning human characteristics to both your tools and your material and being uncomplimentary.
And your wife's threatening to leave you because she can't take a shower.
And your beloved wife is threatening to leave, having had just about enough of this foolishness. Anyway, I did a little bit more reading last night after we got everything buttoned up, and I realized that there is, in fact, a flow control valve mounted on the back of the heater. When it is delivered, the valve is wide open, but you can adjust it to adjust the flow, not the pressure, but the flow coming into the heater itself. Accordingly, back down under the RV I went this morning with my tools and my enthusiasm, and I adjusted the flow control valve. So we ran a couple checks, me on my phone, talking to her on her phone.
You didn't tell me what the problem was in the first place.
The problem, I didn't tell you what the problem was in the first place. Forgive me, please. The problem was that when you turned the water on, a lot of water came out before the heater kicked in and started generating hot water. And then when it did start generating hot water, it generated it uh, in a sort of a cyclical fashion. First it would be hot, then it would be cold, then it would be hot, then it would be cold, then it would be hot, then it would be cold. Yeah, altogether confusing. I did take a shower. I took two showers, as a matter of fact. The first one, I gotta say, it wasn't warm. It was tepid. The second shower, it was actually hot. But adjusting the flow control valve on the back of the heater this morning and watching the electronic control board, which is mounted down underneath the refrigerator, with the tap open, watching the temperature, because it does modulate, it goes up and down while the unit is running. But we managed to get it to the point where it'll run a steady 115 to 117 degrees, which is actually too hot to shower in. But my beloved is about to take a shower and try it out. Our objective is to get it to the point where when you turn it on, hot water comes out. And you're not losing 5 and 6 and 30 gallons of water down the drain while you do it. While you're boondocking, since we do an awful lot of boondocking. And fortunately, we're connected to a city water supply right now, so we can make the adjustments that we need to make to get everything tickety-boo, I believe is the expression. In any case, it's running a steady 115 to 117 degrees, and my beloved is going to take a shower, and then she will report back what she's found, because I think we have the problem well in hand. In any case, it was really just a bit of finicking and fine-tuning to get it taken care of, and now it's installed. Water goes in cold, water comes out hot, and that is our main objective. And it does so after you turn the tap on. Within about 2 seconds, the thing fires up, and then within about 5 to 6 or 8 seconds, it's delivering hot water through the coach.
We're down to losing about a gallon of water as opposed to 6 to 7 gallons of water.
Apparently, we're down to losing about a gallon of water instead of 5 or 6 or 7 or 12 or 44 gallons of water. Which we were doing before. So, your intrepid correspondent and mine, the Trippin' Sista, is going to take a shower, and she's going to report back what she finds.
Well, I took a shower, and my review of the tankless water heater is it was a heck of a lot of trouble to get it working in the beginning. And I mean, it was a big hassle getting it put in, getting it to work right, having to adjust the flow, blah 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 blah. They don't tell you all that. Anyway, the shower was okay. The temperature remained steady at 115 degrees Fahrenheit, which was okay. I did not have to use. I really didn't have to use any cold water at all, except for one little place in there. I think when it got right to 115, I had to turn on the cold water just very, very minimally. And also, the other thing is if you adjust the flow of your water when you're using this thing, it'll I don't know what happens, but it affects the temperature of the water, so you'll get a cold spot. So the best thing to do is to make sure that you have the knob on your shower set to where you want it. If you have a spray nozzle like the one that Mr. Viking just put in, the big beefy one that's got the different adjustments on it, if you adjust it, it changes the flow coming through that sensor, and you might run into a cold spot before it resets itself. Hopefully not. So I think the drawback is if you have a shower head that has all those different adjustments on it, you won't be able to change it without hitting a cold spot in there. So the best thing to do is either just have a standard shower head that's just, one setting, or just get it to the setting that your preferred setting and leave it there. So it did maintain the temperature. That was fine. That was the longest shower I have ever taken in an RV. And I won't be doing that when we're boondocking. Also, just keep in mind that when you are boondocking, you're going to lose probably a gallon of water. When we first put this in yesterday, day before yesterday, it was running cold for a good 6-7 gallons of water. I mean, down the drain. And when you're boondocking, that is not practical. So you have to make sure that your settings are right. The best thing to do if you're going to put something like this in is to do it at a park where you're hooked up to city water. Don't try to do this when you're boondocking, or you're going to be running to get water like every 2 days. So that's my review. It's okay. It holds the temperature, but it is a little bit inconvenient. It's different. But it's okay. It's okay. As far as the water pressure goes, even if you change the water pressure, because I barely opened the tap. I mean, barely opened it. When I open it full on, the water's going to go cold because it's not passing through the sensor. It's not there long enough to heat the water or whatever it is it has to pass through. It ain't there long enough. If you open up your spigot full, yeah, forget it. It'll be a cold shower. So that's my review, and I will probably go to their website and write a review as well. Just wanted to let you know what my thoughts were about it. And we're thinking about changing the shower head back to just a standard shower head. Because what's the point? Yeah, I mean, we don't have to, but I think if we do, it'll help with the flow of the water, possibly the pressure. I don't know. But we'll just see. I don't know. I hate wasting money. Anyhow, yeah, there you go. That's my review. So I just wanted to let you guys know what I thought about it. Have a good day. Keep tripping.